Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of DABCC TV. As always, we have a great episode for you, and we truly do, because we have Liquidware back on the line with us, and they're going to show us a VMworld 2013 preview. So specifically, we have Jason Smith, my good buddy, on the line. And Jason, thank you so much for being here today. I'm looking forward to, what you guys are going to show off at VMworld next week. So, thank you. And let's just dive into it. So for my, as always, can you tell us who you are and then what are you going to show us?
Doug, thanks for having us back. We are excited to talk about some of the things we're going to show next week at VMworld 2013 out in San Francisco. And, this video can have some shelf life because there's some things in here I'm going to reveal to you that take us through the fourth quarter of this year, too, that we're going to be rolling out. So I head up a great deal of product management for Liquidware Labs as the director of product management for our user management offerings, which also include our application virtualization as well. So I'd like to show you what's new in ProfileUnity 5.6, which is a significant update regardless of the .6. You traditionally think of .0 or .5, but this one's chock full of some new stuff in here. And then a new announcement, brand new technology we're announcing next week at VMworld called FlexDisk.
Oh, interesting.
FlexDisk has been nominated for VMworld Best New Technologies. So yeah, we're excited to be showing these things, ProfileUnity version 5.6 and FlexDisk, brand new technology.
Well, very cool, very cool. Well, let's make this thing short and sweet. I know a lot of people getting ready for VMworld next week, so they want to see it. I want to see it too. So have at it, please.
Jump right into what's new in 5.6, and then we'll go into that new technology we're going to deliver this fall. But ProfileUnity version 5.6 actually is slated to be available this week. And we used to say ship, now downloadable, or you can just come by our website, download and try it. Or if you're already one of our thousands of customers, you can come and update your package. If you're on one of the most recent versions, all you have to do is log into the admin tab underneath this area over here, and there's a way to just click on a one-click update to get your console updated to the latest version. But what's new is configuration management and filter management now have import and export facilities there. So administrators, system integrators, and consultants that rely on ProfileUnity at multiple sites can come up with their ideal configuration for profile portability, application portability, and filters. And you can import and export just components or configurations from ProfileUnity and reuse them at other sites. So it's a big time saver for our largest of customers who have multiple departments that may be running multiple instances. It's also going to be a huge time saver for our loyal channel partners and integrators. Our VHD mount technology, the way we're mounting VHDs at user login to mount a VHD, which we can also provision, and also for our user installed and department installed applications, which rely on VHDs, that mounts now up to 3 times faster. We've just streamlined a few things, and the performance is much faster at login. So current customers that are already using that will enjoy that, and prospects that are evaluating the technology will enjoy a quicker login for those that are using user and department installed apps. Our folder redirection has been enhanced now to also take into account different migration scenarios. So you'll remember, Doug, that we make a profile work across the board from the first time a user logs out. There's no downtime or USMT process, user state migration tool from Microsoft. We make one profile work over and over again, whether you go backwards or forwards. But our folder redirection will pick up anything else that's been redirected. And so now we're getting in more into a hybrid type profile that can be made portable now that a lot of organizations have made the switch to Windows 7. And our folder redirections has been enhanced to where we can do one way, one time only migrations over of user authored data, or we can do that also for application data and things like that. And the use case there is that there's some finer points of applications that will flow better one way than they do others, and you may not want to go back. So we've enhanced and given you options to pick and choose there. Our printer management, we've had really big updates there. Before, you had to manually set up printers and type in the path to printers, so you had to know what that was from an administrator point of view. Or for our enterprise customers, that was time consuming. So now you can just put in the print server name, and you're off and running. It will see all the printers in there. So auto discovery for printer management.
Very neat.
Or guided templates, that's a new one there for our configuration. So Before, it was fast to set up ProfileUnity because we would set you up in the best case scenario, as if you already had maybe Windows 7. And for our virtual customers, we got a lot of virtual desktop customers, so we had set it up for non-persistent use. That may or may not have been the best scenario for all of our customers to get off and running. So now you can pick and choose from a long list of configurations of ProfileUnity, which a configuration deals with what gets redirected, what parts of the profile get made portable. So now you get to pick and choose from what kind of desktop environment most closely matches your own. So you are off and running with, for instance, if you still have XP in the environment and you want to be ready to go to Windows 7, you can choose one of these. If you already are rolled out in the Windows 7, you can choose one of the top ones and you'll have a slightly more robust performance. So it takes into account more scenarios, gets more customers up and running even quicker than before. And by the way, just a reminder, ProfileUnity, we can be up and running in a proof of concept in less than an hour. That's because we run on your existing desktop infrastructure and we don't require any SQL servers or IS servers or any additional infrastructure. So we've also got import, export. I mentioned this a moment ago of configurations. So now with configurations, if you find that there's one that really works for you, you can export it and then simply import it. It exports as a .json type of a file. And no, we didn't name that because my name's Jason. Skip the A there. That's the type of file that we export, and we'll import that right back in. We do the same thing for our filter management. And here we've got a new button. We can download a .json file, just a universal file format that we recognize, and we'll pull back in as a filter because it can be time consuming to write a context-aware filter too. So again, large enterprise administrators may use this for different sites. Integrators or consultants can replicate what they've done, what worked for them at one site, and get another site up and running even quicker. Our printer management has been greatly enhanced. I want to show you this in the UI because it works just so much better to show you in the UI. Configuration management. Let me just click on this over here and go to our printer management. Before, we only had really one option, and that was to set things up on a manual basis. That means you manually had to know the path of the printer. But now we're able to add just your print server name in here, and it will auto-populate in this list of a list of printers. So it's auto-discovery for printers, just much quicker to set up. And this is one of our big, most sought-after features, especially in highly mobile environments, educational institutions and hospitals, where you have multiple printers everywhere and you want to do context-aware printing. So when you roam around the building, you'll be able to apply a filter set that says, people that are now on the third floor, maybe they're on a Wi-Fi access point, you've written a context-aware filter on this. You can have a printer automatically applied to them that is on the third floor. Here the printers are showing up that's on this local machine, but if I was on an actual network and put in my print server name, all the printers in there would be there, and you'd have auto discovery. So it's just quick point and click, add to the printer, add a printer to your configuration there. A lot of ease of use things, as you can see, have been added, Doug.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I meant by FlexApp performance has been bumped up, VHD mount performance, and I'm about to reveal to you with a newer technology how this is made even faster this fall. But we've got up to 3 times faster mount times for VHD. So when a user logged in, had ProfileUnity managing their user experience, they also were a FlexApp user, which is right now is designed for non-persistent environments like a VDI, VMware View, or Citrix Zen desktop. The VHD will mount up to 3 times faster, and that's because we streamlined a lot of our own code for mounting a VHD. We'll provision that VHD. It gets reattached to them, and that's where their application containers are for all the applications the users have installed. And if it's additional VHDs that need to be mounted for department-installed applications through FlexApp, those mount 3 times faster as well. So a lot of performance increases there. So we've also enhanced a lot of other small things like our folder redirection for that one-way only copy, and also do it only one time. So there's a lot of ease of use stuff in this ProfileUnity 5.6 that is going to make life easier for our existing customers and going to make onboarding the new customers even faster.
That's great. That's great.
FlexDisk technology, very exciting technology that we are announcing at the show. It is It enables your VM specific to VMware View. Enables follow me VMDKs to be tagged up with the same non-persistent user. And what's key in there is I said non-persistent user. So VMware's had user data disk and they've had the persistent disk. They've called it interchangeably over the years. But they really didn't excel at doing that for non-persistent desktop users. So there's some strong points about using VMDKs in there because they can they reside on your VMFS virtual machine file system storage. They're not out of the network area or out of the SAN usually that you want to have your same Horizon View environment in. So we have, just like I showed you the VHD technology there a moment ago, how we're mounting things faster, we now will give you the option to do your follow me user data disk as a VMDK. So user installed applications are going to be dramatically faster. And also our department installed applications, there's a big bonus in there because our department installed applications, one VMDK, very, very fast, can now serve 100 users. Now, while that was possible with our VHD technology we were mounting, with VMDKs, it's going to be dramatically quicker because you're not going to be relying on the normal network path to get back to your VHD storage, and you're going to have all those benefits of having it right there in the VMFS storage. So shareable, what is FlexDisk? It's a shareable VMDK that relies on VMFS, as I noted a moment ago. And the benefits are that the department installed application performance is going to be dramatically quicker. You're going to be leveraging that high-speed VMFS. You can lower your management costs because you can abstract the application away from the OS, totally away from it. You want to get to, the goal in a non-persistent desktop environment is, can I get to a single image that will work for all my users? And before, that's largely been no. I have to do multiple desktop images, which are difficult, expensive to maintain because of the management time involved in making sure you've got a department image right for each person. Now we can truly have the performance for those applications using VMFS storage for the user, and also share that storage for the user to make single image desktop management a reality. We can also, when you're rolling out your desktop environment and leveraging these VMDKs through Flex App technology, our application virtualization management, you can essentially, Doug, you can direct your I/O workload to the storage management you want or to the storage that you want. So an application that is I/O intensive, you can put it on one VMDK, and we'll actually have I/O limiting capabilities in there, and we'll also have overrides for power users and things like that. But you can do what we are deeming I/O shaping of your virtual environment. So now you can you're basically allocating IOPS per VMDK that you're putting the workload on. So you can ensure that your desktops are still enjoying the robust IOPS that they get, and you're going to be able to steer off the IOP workload where you want it. And you can put multiple applications on one VMDK if you want to, or you can single them out into single VMDKs. Giving you that single copy of the application is going to have great cost reduction benefits by being able to install that application one time and having it shared out to, of course, multiple users. So you have all that space savings. Have one copy of the application, one virtual copy of the application that will work with hundreds of users. So this is just a glimpse of where this will show up in our technology. Our Flex App packaging console is our department installed applications, and now you'll have the option to choose a FlexDisk. Now, when this is chosen, currently the other option is a VHD. Just like the VHD technology that we were leveraging with FlexDisk from Liquidware Labs, we're going to be provisioning. We speak directly to the vSphere infrastructure where we provision the VMDK. And we'll match it up with that application if it's a department installed application. Now, if we're doing the same thing with our user installed applications, we assign a VMDK to that user, and it follows them no matter where they go, and it also provisions for them. So one of the things that Gunnar Berger over at Gartner had asked us, when are we mounting? Are we mounting pre-VM boot time, or when are we mounting? We're mounting that VMDK at logon time, which is a little bit later, but you get all those benefits of that persistent desktop environment because you're remounting that up with the user every time the user logs on. That could be it's always going to be a pristine machine in a non-persistent Horizon View environment. So we've cracked the nut there of allowing a very robust VMFS storage being allocated directly from ProfileUnity because we're able to provision it out directly from the VMFS storage using communication directly with vSphere. Cool stuff?
Very cool.
So user data disk, really known as FlexDisk for our technologies. Follow me VMDK that layers all the VMFS benefits. The benefits are it's a user data disk like VMware already had for non-persistent desktops. Because they don't really allow it or it doesn't work well in a non-persistent desktop, it's another big benefit from Liquidware Labs for VMware. User-installed application performance is going to be much greater, as I outlined earlier, and your management cost, you can get them down because you can get to that single desktop image. And you no longer have to be managing one-to-one desktops for persistent user environments. It makes non-persistent desktop infrastructure even more of a reality. Your profile storage, we can allocate that to the FlexDisk, and we can use it to speed up the user experience dramatically too. Because all the profile management vendors, user management vendors, we're all relying on network connections of some sort. We can rely on the fastest network possible. And in a VMware View non-persistent environment, that's going to be FlexDisk technology. If we can rely on that, we can have an even better or more enhanced user experience in Horizon View environments. That really sums up what's new in our VMworld 2013 preview, Doug.
Well, that's great, Jason. That is really, really neat. So if somebody is at VMworld next week, just stop on by your booth and anything else?
That's right. We're in booth 741, so look for aisle 700. Should be, I believe it's on the left, more of the left-hand side when you come in the main entrance, and about 3/4 of the way down, I believe, from looking at the show map. So look for us over there, and we'd be happy to show you. We're in a twice as large booth this year, so we're growing by leaps and bounds. We'd be happy to show you a first-hand demo of ProfileUnity 5.6. We've got some new for Stratosphere. We've added in the last year some preview inspectors that are specific to the VMware environment. So we're excited to show that as well, and then to give you a sneak preview of our FlexDisk technology. And I have to say, we're going to be giving a sneak preview of additional technology that is yet to be discussed and will not be discussed in the media until we hit VMworld of next week. So that gives you a reason to stop by. We're not going to show everything today.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions. Is this everything? Is there, are you guys going to be announcing some other stuff that you won't tell me, which is a shame. Shame on you.
There's one additional thing that there's not even going to be a press release on. You'll have to come to the booth to see the new technology that we're also announcing. But I can tell you that the product name will have Flex in it as well.
Imagine that. So, there are people out there that are saying, well, I'd love to attend VMworld, and I'm looking at this because I'm not going to be attending VMworld, and I'm not able to stop by Liquidware's booth. So what do I need to do to learn more? Don't forget me.
That's right. Well, stay tuned on the newest feature set technology that I mentioned that we're not revealing yet. But everything else, there's going to be a summation on our website. Also, follow our Twitter account, Liquidware Labs. It's run together. So follow us on Twitter and follow us on Facebook, because that's where we'll be also talking about this other new technology we've yet to mention, but we're even more excited about the one that's yet to be revealed.
Well, perfect. And I'll be bugging you next week too, so that we can post it also. So as soon as we find out, we'll let you guys know. And Jason, it's been so long since we've had you on the podcast show, so we got to bring you back on that. You up for that? I'm doing this publicly so that you can't say no.
I'm up for that.
Okay, perfect. So when you get back from good old VMworld, we're going to schedule a audio podcast, get you on DABCC radio, and we're going to talk about this thing you won't tell us about. Sound good?
Would love to show that right after the show.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, like I promised, we'll make this thing short and sweet and get these guys back on their way. They have a busy week before a fun-filled week next week in good old San Francisco, California. And so again, Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, and look forward to next week in San Francisco.
Thanks for having us, Doug, and thanks for being a partner with Liquidware Labs.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay. On that note, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for listening to DABCC TV. I hope you enjoyed this episode, nice and short and sweet, and that's the way we like to make them, but packed with tons of great stuff and really neat. I like that FlexDisk technology. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to put my head around that a little bit, but it seems very straightforward and definitely beneficial. You know, Jason, it was quite ironic. I'll digress just a quick second. I was just sending communicating with a guy out there, a DABCC listener or reader, and he told me he was talking about printers, and he said, "Yeah, we use ProfileUnity." So just the other day, how do you like that?
That's right. It's easier to find customers than ever. We've got now, I would say, several thousand customers now for just ProfileUnity alone. But also, when you add Stratosphere to that, which is equally or even more adopted, we are out there, and we are probably, since we're talking about VMworld, we do a lot of business in the VDI space. Also, and that include the Citrix community as well. But we're probably the number one attached solution set or bundle with Horizon View installs, and we've yet to hear anyone refute that. We're probably the go-to for user experience and also user management, and we're happy to be in that position in the market.
Wow, I bet you are. That's awesome. That's awesome. So again, Jason, thank you so much. And to everyone out there listening, thank you for listening to this episode of DABCC TV. Definitely check out www.dabcc.com for the latest and greatest virtualization news and support resources. And of course, have a great day. And until next time, thanks everyone for listening to